My mic's not on.
Idiot head.
I thought that sounded weird. Anyway, not a good start. Let's hope the joke makes up for it. Sorry. That rattled me. Couldn't hear anything in the headphones. Anyway. Oh, geez. Not good for us. Not good. Anyway. So, boys, I'm a bit ticked off. All right. I'm a bit annoyed. Jeez, you're staring me right in the eyes. I had a day off today, so I went down to Bunnings. Just needed to grab some Velcro. Like, they have like a metre strip of Velcro. They had a metre of it for $10. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you ask me, that is a complete rip-off.
Shit. Shit.
We've started so high, slowly going downhill.
That we might have to cut out the second.
My mic is also
Oh my god.
my mic was off as well.
Oh my god.
I couldn't even get through it.
Oh my god.
Gee, we are rattled. I realised, I started talking, I was like, hang on. I can't
Riley's
hear
mic
anything.
was off. Tommy's mic was off. Mine was the only one on. Shit joke.
Gee, this is a
Oh
shambles.
my god.
You're going to run the same show.
Sorry.
Let's not. Maybe we might have to review the telling a joke before the podcast because it's getting bad.
No, but I sort of like that they're not all funny because then we can laugh at him, not with him.
Yeah. See, I'm putting my reputation on
Yeah,
the
to be
line.
fair, I don't have the balls to do this, so I don't blame him.
It's hard.
There is no reputation to put on the line. There is no reputation.
Oh, thank you. You're saying that my reputation's really strong?
No.
Yeah.
You just have no reputation.
I don't have a
Just
reputation.
shit.
Hey,
Yeah, wow.
you going to run the same joke again or you going to take a different one?
I can find another one. I can, give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
Let me.
I don't
you
mind.
guys-
I don't mind they're not all good because I think
but
that.
there's no funniness in
But it's a
that.
different sort of laugh. They'll laugh at him for a shit joke.
Everyone can see what was coming up from a long way away.
Yeah, that one was very predictable. But I think that you don't always want to be laughing with him. I don't mind the odd laugh at him, make fun of him.
Jot another really dumb,
Yeah.
like dad joke sort of one.
Just try it.
All right. I was in my room the other night.
No, are we recording?
Yes, we are.
We're just recording.
We're still going.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Mate, this is. Hey,
I thought we'll stop cutting. There you
this
go.
is,
Right,
this
sorry.
is unfiltered.
Gee whiz, okay.
Unfortunately for them.
I digress. It's just all right. This is not going to be
Longest
worth it.
joke ever.
This is not going to be worth it. Confidence. I was in my room the other night and asked my mum, Deborah, what those stairs are at shopping centres that like they move up into his eyes. Have you heard this before?
Just get on with it.
All right. The stairs at shopping centres that can move up and down. She must not have heard me 'cause she didn't respond. It's all right. I'll escalate her.
All right, so that's yep. Oh my god, no.
I thought we were cutting and going again. I was going to keep recording. That's like a silly-
All right, welcome back to the Pub Test Podcast. We have our World Edition. You just heard an absolute shocking 2 jokes.
That
Just
So we're fresh off that.
he threw shit at the wall the first time, and then he thought, "Oh, I'll throw shit at the wall again, and hopefully it'll stick." And it didn't stick. That was shocking. And then he laughed for about 5 minutes after that too.
Oh, it's just, if you don't laugh, you'll cry, really.
Our audiences are just turning off. But that I've decided that topic, telling a joke, is under review until
That
next
was
week.
the world's longest joke for 2 jokes that...
You know what?
I didn't know that.
If you think they're bad, you bring a joke next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
If you bring a segment to the podcast, make sure it's freaking good instead of
But
piling up that
don't
stuff.
you think the fun in it is that it's not good?
Yeah, as I said, I reckon
No.
it's funny laughing
It wasn't
at
a-
him.
Well, we can't laugh every week. You can't just keep laughing at someone. Sometimes they've got to give up a good joke.
But his first few were.
That's the thing, you're either laughing at the joke or you're laughing at me. So it's a win-win.
Exactly right. So, you know what, Fletch? I reckon if bring your own joke,
It is
buddy.
what it is.
I'll bring my own joke then. It'll be
Yeah, but
better than that.
You bring a joke, you
Yeah.
tell it to me. All right?
No. I'll tell on the
No.
podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You tell it to on
To
the
us.
podcast. Yeah. Oh, sorry, to us.
Yeah. You're
Yep.
not in the podcast right now, Tommy.
No.
Anyway, let's get on with
Let's
this.
get on to the other.
Yeah.
Uh,
sorry.
After very poor performance, we're going to cross over to Riley,
Yeah.
who's going to give us an AFLW update.
Yeah. All right. Serious segment now, boys. Switch on. Game mode. First game of the AFLW weekend, round 3. The Dogs defeated Fremantle.
Hey.
Fremantle are now 0-3, which is a huge surprise. The Dogs, 99% sure, are 3-0. So
Yeah.
look at them go.
On
Freo
top of the ladder.
fallen off a cliff. Go Dogs. Adelaide defeated North Melbourne. This was a close one, 30-16. Adelaide just kind of cruising. They don't look too convincing, sort of like Melbourne were at the start of this year in the men's. GWS smashed Sydney. This was a surprise to me, 65-18. Now, Tommy brought this up before. We'll talk about it. Collingwood defeated Geelong,
It's a sign.
15-11. This was a defensive slog. Two of the best defensive teams in the comp. The two lowest points against totals of all teams in the comp. There was no goals in the first half. It was just played between the arcs. But in the end, Collingwood were just more clinical. They pushed defender Geordie Allen forward late, and she kicked the match winner, unfortunately. So Geelong is no longer undefeated, and Collingwood is still undefeated. Well done, Collingwood. Boo. Anyway, Brisbane smashed Gold Coast 82-9. They have overtaken Melbourne as the best looking team in the comp right now. Albeit they've played probably 3 weaker sides, but they are just killing teams. They're top of the ladder with a percentage of 401%. So
Whoa, that's a smashing.
That's
Yeah.
a fair.
so fair play. They play
401%.
they play Melbourne this week, which will be a massive clash. Next one, Carlton and Port Adelaide. They drew.
Ooh.
27-all. This game had it all. Last second thriller. Port Adelaide had the edge in the first half, and it was looking like they were going to get their first ever win. They had a 4-goal second quarter, and those were all of their goals for the
I
game.
was about to say, the 27 only be 4 goals.
Yep, you do the maths. So it looked like, it's going to be an upset brewing. Carlton didn't kick a goal in the... Sorry, Port Adelaide didn't kick a goal in the second half, and Carlton stormed home. With about 5 seconds to go, first gamer, Lily Goss, won a free kick for a high tackle. Scores were tied. She had a shot from about 50 metres out, and it didn't get there. So it was pretty brutal, but it always looked like it was going to be a tough kick to make it. Melbourne defeated St Kilda 46-20. Melbourne are also undefeated. Well done to them. Saints did pretty well to keep it that close. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. Richmond defeated Hawthorn 44-9. That was pretty expected. And lastly, Essendon smashed West Coast 84-32. This was a surprise. I thought West Coast would have kept this closer, but once again, most of these were pretty expected. Apart from the Carlton Port Adelaide draw, that was probably it. All the good teams are playing well. All the expansion teams are struggling. So, yeah, there's not much more to talk about that, to be honest. It's kind of a normal program resuming in the AFLW, to be honest with you.
Well, they're slowly working their way into the season, I think. Scores are up this season, so that's good to see. A few blowouts, which is a bit of a shame. You want the competition to be even, but you got to expect that when you start up a club and shove 18 teams in 5 years.
When you start up so many... How many expansion clubs were there this year?
4.
So when you start 4 new clubs, like that's... Obviously, we've never seen anything like it in the AFL.
Yeah.
So it's understandable that there's a few struggling, but I do think they'll even out in due course.
Yes.
They'll find their feet.
Exactly
Tommy,
right.
what's happening in the EPL these days, buddy?
Now, unfortunately, there were no Premier League games to report back to, boys. Now,
Why is that?
the sad passing of the Queen. Obviously, while we obviously in Australia, I know I personally haven't had. What are you laughing at? Yes, as I say, unfortunately, the sad passing of the Queen meant that out of respect, the Premier League decided to postpone all games. This week,
Tommy, was your man from Chelsea sacked?
I was hoping to try and avoid that as much as possible. But yes, Thomas Tuchel sacked as Chelsea manager. Rod, you put on the socials over the weekend.
Thomas Tuchel. Loser. Continue.
Yeah, so it was rather shockwaves throughout the Premier League, that's for sure. I know I certainly didn't expect it. I know Chelsea's form's been pretty poor to start the year. I think only really one game that I felt we played really well in. But and Chelsea are known for this. If you look at our last 15, 20 years, we're known to sack managers pretty ruthlessly. But for those that follow the Premier League a little bit closer, Tuchel only lasted 18 more days than Frank Lampard, who was the previous Chelsea manager, which, for those that don't watch much Premier League, Tuchel won the pinnacle of club football, or soccer, which is the Champions League. Lampard's best finish was third. I know he came in a little bit of different time, but I did think he earned a bit more time than he got due to winning the Champions League, and we spent the most money out of anyone in the world. So I was a bit surprised that he was sacked this early.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, Graham Potter taking over, the Brighton manager. Can't say I've watched a lot of Brighton, but he's very hyped up. Yeah, Rod.
Yeah, I'm same as you. I'm very surprised. I thought they would have given him a little bit more time, considering the signings that you made, like big signings too, like your Sterlings you got for Fafana late. Do you say Cucurella or Cucurella? Cucurella.
Yes.
So yeah, guys like that who, like, it doesn't take. I know it's a brutal sport, but it shouldn't take you 5 or 10 games to just be able to click. It's going to take a while. And I understand it's different to the AFL, like they've one guy in, one guy out sort of thing with managers. But yeah, that caught me off guard, and I thought they would have given him a little bit more time.
Yeah, I was. And to be fair, like we've been, our game style is looking more and more stale, and we've never really been that really attacking team under Thomas Tuchel. We've always been that defence first, elite defence, and then build from there. And that game style works in the Champions League when you're playing these really big sides, and you can't afford to play these free-flowing attacking football because you get caught by these really good sides. But you was playing, definitely the back end of last season where Chelsea started to struggle in the league. We're coming against these sides that are happy to get a point against Chelsea. So they were defending for their lives, and Chelsea were relying on attacking brilliance, not structure. The worry was this year we've gone from being good but not scoring to just playing shit. Like, we've gone to Leeds and lost 3-0 where they haven't defended for 90 minutes and got lucky and won 1-0. They've dominated us. Same with Southampton. Dominated us. Like, we shouldn't be getting dominated by these sides. Simple as that. So, I did think he still deserved more time because he had the runs on the board. He's won a Champions League. Very hard to do. So, I did think he deserved 4 to 6 weeks. Like, Chelsea been crying out for a striker. We finally get a striker in Aubameyang, who Tuchel's had success with. Like, at Dortmund, he's had success with. He lasted 59 minutes. He got 59 minutes with Aubameyang. So, I think he deserved a bit more time, but shouldn't be surprising with Chelsea's form in sacking managers. But, yeah, hopefully the new manager bounce hits. We've gone nice and early, and hopefully we get back in that top 4, because a club like Chelsea, they're willing to spend the money, have to be playing Champions League. I just quickly want to touch on Liverpool, who, despite Chelsea having no manager, Liverpool are still below them in the league. Just want to make that very clear to everyone. But losing to Napoli 4-1, obviously no Premier League games, Champions League more in the spotlight in this podcast. Losing 4-1, that's a big loss. They're 3-0 down at half time. So,
embarrassing, yeah.
Are they in danger of slipping further, or do you think they refine their best, Rod?
Fletch, thoughts?
Go Liverpool.
Name me 2 Liverpool players.
No, I think
Mo Salah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And another one. Harry Maguire.
What the chants you were doing on the sketch?
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
At least that's a Premier League club.
Pretty bubbles in the air.
You know I did.
You know I did.
He did the Arsenal and Tottenham one as well. What do you think of Tottenham?
Shit.
What do you think of shit?
Tottenham.
Thank you.
That's
all right. Anyway, we're just immersing him
Riley,
in the culture.
Liverpool.
I think they'll be okay. It doesn't look great. They're not, like you said, they don't seem to be able to score, and then even getting 4 goals conceded on them, that doesn't happen very often either.
It was, and I'm not sure you watched the highlights. The highlights are dreadful.
Yeah.
Like, they're not lucky. They're not brilliant piece of play, or like these long shots from 30 yards. They're just shocking defending.
It's honestly, apart from that clip of Alexander Arnold.
He's so bad defensively.
Anyway, but yeah,
he's lucky he's one of the best passers in the Premier League.
Yeah. But apart from the 9-0 to Bournemouth, they've been so unconvincing, and you have to take that Bournemouth game with a grain of salt. Bournemouth are that bad.
They're that bad.
They're a basket case.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'd be happy to go up against Liverpool and would be expecting to take points as an Arsenal fan right now.
Yep.
Which you wouldn't be saying that any other year.
Yep.
But I think they'll be okay. But Man City's won it already.
The league's already won.
Yeah.
Like, I think, unfortunately, the Chelsea, as I was about to mention, the 3 fixtures postponed this weekend. Chelsea, Liverpool is one of them. And if Chelsea hadn't sacked their manager, I'd be quietly confident. Even though we'd played badly, Liverpool been just as bad. Maybe not just as bad, but also very bad. But yeah, as I said, there's 3 games postponed. Luckily, there's still 7 games going ahead. I think the reason why the Chelsea-Liverpool game is due to police staffing, I think. I think that's the day of the funeral for the Queen. So I think they need the police there. I think that's the reason why. But I haven't really followed that all that closely. But yeah, got some Premier League to report back next week. Fletcher.
I'm forever blowing bubbles.
He loves it.
Pretty bubbles
He does
in the
What
air.
club
every
is that
time.
from, out of curiosity?
West Ham.
Hey, well done.
He does the funny thing with his fingers every time. Bubbles.
I'm forever blowing
After a couple
bubbles.
of beers the other night, he loved it. Bubbles.
All right, in the NBA, we've got a bit of news to cover. Not too much. We're still kind of got that on the back burners while the footy's going. But Montrezl Harrell has signed a 2-year deal with the 76ers, which improves their forwards, and I think really complements Joel Embiid and a few others to add a bit of toughness in their lineup. But aside from that, it's EuroLeague basketball with Giannis and the Joker dominating with scoring about 40 points each a game, which is pretty incredible. Luka's also dominating too down there. But apart from that, we're going to do some matchups, some 2-on-2s, some who would you rathers. So hopefully get you guys' thoughts here.
Love this stuff. This is fun.
Yeah, still getting a lot of comments about this. People sending stuff in. Yeah, I really enjoy this interactive segment. We're going to branch out to other sports. I think we just talked about potentially having a footy, a part of it coming. So do want to branch out. We don't want this to be a purely NBA interactive segment. We do want to talk about other sports as well, but NBA probably the easiest one to do. But yeah, as we'll probably say, if you have any, whether it be footy, whether it be NBA, send us in and we will most certainly get to them.
So we're going to stick with the usual what we do, 2-on-2, the same as we've done the last couple of weeks. These matchups I like a lot. We'll see what your thoughts are, but our first matchup is Tony Parker and Anthony Davis. Now, Tony Parker was a very good player in his prime and in a very good system. Anthony Davis is a bit of a unicorn versus Jamal Murray from the Nuggets, come off a knee injury, but a very good three-point shooter against Cat, who can also be a bit of a unicorn. Tell me who you got.
Look, it is something we were talking about it before. It's a bit tough for us because we didn't see prime Tony Parker. So it's always hard to talk about those prime ones, prime D-Wade and stuff, because we just didn't really see a lot of them. For me, I've focused on, I think AD wipes the floor with Cat. So I'm going to pick Tony Parker and Anthony Davis just because I just think AD is a significantly better defender than Karl Anthony Towns, and I just think that matchup will go AD's way comfortably, and I think that'll win it for him. But yeah,
Friday night.
No, what? What'd you call me? No, I want to hear your thoughts on this one. You're the Tony Parker man. Love to know
Tony
your
Parker
thoughts.
man.
the NBA expert.
Yes.
Yes, three of us.
He was, yeah. I'm also going with Tony Parker, Anthony Davis, and it's more because of what Tony Parker could do, control the pace of a game, and was very good in the Spurs system. But he made it so good, I believe, and worked really well with a tall in Tim Duncan. So to me, Anthony Davis and Tony Parker, Cat and Anthony Davis are pretty similar. I'm going to be honest with you, in my opinion. When Cat is fired up and ready to go, and he's really hyped, they're pretty similar. Like, Cat can have his off nights, but Anthony Davis doesn't really have many off nights. But when Cat is like one game situation, you get him hyped up. He's a beast. So, but Tony Parker's floaters, I think he's a bit of a liability on defense against Murray, but I'm going to go with Tony Parker and Anthony Davis. Riley.
That makes it unanimous. That might be our first unanimous one.
I think so.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, Tony Parker, AD for me. The defense of AD as well against Cat, I think, could come into play. But yeah, like Tommy said, we didn't see a lot of Tony Parker, but from what Fletcher's explained to us, great passer, very composed, good team man. So I'd go with Tony Parker and Anthony Davis on that one.
He's got a really good floater, really good runner. Not always a team man. Tried to swindle his teammates.
So he got caught up in a bit of a scandal, didn't he? Was it intercourse with a teammate's wife or something?
Wow, intercourse.
Let me search that up.
So I don't think in that situation,
I'll come back to that at the end of the
Do
thing.
not spare a detail.
In that situation, I think sharing's caring there, to be honest with you. But
we'll move cheating scandal with former teammate's wife. Former teammate's wife. Hang on, let's see if this
was it manager?
Nah, surely it wasn't him. They're
too close.
I was about to say they're too close. Hang on, come back to me. Ask me at the end.
You got any elevator music?
Ask me at the end.
For bubbles. Pretty bubbles and nah. Stuff you, Tommy.
Let's go.
No, I'll tell me at the end. I'll come back to you at the end. I'm reading it.
The next matchup, because Tommy is reading, he's not going to listen to my matchup. We've gone defense versus offense here. Now, a friend named Buzz Lightyear sent this in to us. He recommended this. So he wanted more defense versus offense here. So Marcus Smart, Alex Caruso on one team. That's the defensive team. Versus Dame Darla and Kemba Walker. That's the offensive team. Riley.
Yes.
Would you rather offense or would you rather defense?
Thank you for asking, Fletcher. In this scenario, give me the defense of Marcus Smart and Alex Caruso. I think, obviously, Dame's going to hit some shots. Let's be honest. He's going to have a couple of nice ones, but I do think he'll get a little bit worn down by how just tenacious Smart and Caruso are on that end. And I think Kemba's just, honestly, you can't trust him at all.
What Kemba are we thinking about here? Is it right now, Kemba?
Right now, buddy.
Oh, shit.
Did you hear any prime or anything like
Shit.
that? No.
Prime Kemba.
He's not even. Is that irrelevant? I didn't think we'd be talking about him. So
it was more just it could have been the curveball of Dame just going off, But yeah, no. Defense for me.
Yeah, pretty straightforward defense. Marcus Smart, Alex Caruso are both 6'6" and pretty athletic and pretty strong. I think they'll just wear down. And they're NBA players. They can still make a shot. Even though they're not flat-out scorers, they can still make a shot.
They can.
Before hearing it was washed-up Kemba Walker, I probably would have picked Dame and Kemba. But Kemba's so shit that I just cannot pick a team anymore.
Tommy challenges Kemba to a one-on-one.
Smart and Caruso for me. I do think if Dame had any help, I'd probably pick them. But I just think that defense will wear him down.
And Smart and Caruso, you feel like they would love that street ball sort of 2v2 chain net.
No fouls.
Just, wooden backboard. Just I don't know. Is that like street ball? Anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Move on.
I've got a chain net at my house. I want to point it out. It's really cool. When it goes in, it doesn't go in very often. When it goes in, it sounds really cool. Doesn't go in very often.
Pretty shiny and clean.
All I hear is clank. Yeah. So all I hear is the rustling from it hitting the rim.
You could sell it and say mint condition, hasn't been used.
I can't buy something. Can we move on, please? My basketball is shit.
Fletch.
He doesn't like you brought it up now.
I shouldn't have mentioned it.
Yeah, we didn't even need to. Whoa.
Oh, sorry.
No, kidding.
Well, we need to beat that out, editor.
All good, man. All good.
So we've done our 2v2 matchups now. I've got a bit of a different one this week. You're building / giving a max contract. So if you can only give out one max contract in your team, and then you've got to build around that with no more max contracts, so you can't get both the players. Pretty much what I was saying there. You've got to pick between a player. I'm going to give you two players, and you've got to pick between them and tell me a little bit why. So the first one, this is for building for the future, both young players, RJ Barrett and Tyrese Haliburton. Riley, who are you picking?
I'm going to go with Tyrese Haliburton. I think the more consistent, better all-round player gives you not a little bit of everything, but he gives you more facets of the game than RJ does. He's a great passer. I think he's someone you could probably build. I know it's getting technical. You could probably build him around him a little bit better than RJ. Like in the NBA these days, I think you can find a 20-point per game scorer a lot easier than someone who can defend, get almost 10 assists per game, and score in a couple of ways. So, and I know they're both young and they're both going to improve, but I think if I was going to give out a max contract, I would give it to Tyrese Haliburton right now.
Tommy C.
Not going to say much because I would have said the exact same thing that I did. Tyrese Haliburton, for the reason that I think his playmaking and better all-round game makes him more of an asset to attract other players. I've thought about it based on you're starting a brand new franchise. Which game style would you prefer? And I just think Tyrese Haliburton, his game style right now is more suited to playing with others, and I just think that, I'd rather trust him with a brand new franchise.
You know what you're going to get with Tyrese. All right, Fletch.
I've gone the opposite to you two.
Oh, he's disagreed.
Nice.
We didn't have 3 unanimouses. He's disagreed.
I'm
excited.
RJ.
Why?
Convince us.
They're both in the same draft, so it's pretty easy to compare them to because they were both played 3 years. RJ is scoring a little bit more and doesn't really have as much of the ball as Tyrese does. So he's played on a semi-good roster with Randall and stuff like that, taking a few shots away from him. So I think that's hurt him a little bit. He's got more of the keys to the city this year. But his leadership quality, to me, what he's done at Duke and also early in his career at the Knicks, I think is superb. I know Tyrese is also really good at that. He had a really good quote when he got drafted to Sacramento, which was, I want to be here, which not many people want to say about Sacramento. He said, I want to be here, I want to be improved, I want to be an all-star, I want a championship here, which not many people say about when they get drafted to Sacramento. Normally they say, I want to get out of there. But I think RJ Barrett's got more leadership qualities, and it's a guard-driven league, but small forward is so key, and he can play both sides of the ball as a small forward. He's only 198 centimetres, but he can play tall, I reckon. So that's why I'm going to go with him. I think he can pick up a guard pretty easily somewhere else. So that small forward position is really important to get settled and get right, because there's not many good small forwards in the league. So that's who I would be picking.
There you go.
Interesting.
Disagreement. No, I'm just trying to find usage rates anywhere, just trying to see if they're pretty similar, because obviously Haliburton on the Pacers team right now, he's going to be very relied upon. So
it's high. And even at Sacramento, when Darren Fox was high, it was high.
It's going to be a rough year for Pacers fans.
I obviously had RJ in my fantasy basketball team, and that second half of the year he came on really strong. I think he was averaging 27 points or 26 points. So I think that 20-point average for the last season is probably a bit low, how he came on. So I really like that about him. But I'd like to see him on the Knicks next year get a proper big role, just push Randall aside.
Do you worry though with Brunson there? It's too
100%.
Brunson centric.
100%.
That's a worry for me.
Brunson's I don't know the actual age of Brunson, but he's fairly older than.
It'd be almost late 20s. At a guess, let me Google search it.
He's
But
fairly
I
young.
reckon I'm going to say he's 26.
Orange, 24, 23.
Jeez, I'm good.
26.
26.
Yeah, fair play, Rob.
August 1996.
So I know the NBA can move pretty quickly and you can win a championship within a year, but I'd say their most likely point of winning a championship is probably RJ. So I'd give RJ a lot more responsibility. But
Do you think though they're not paying Brunson $25 million a year
100%.
to be the third best player?
No, they're definitely not paying him that. But in their time scheme, not going to win a championship next year, and no one's going to win it. Sorry, this is for another time for a topic, but this is another question because we can just ramble because this is the second podcast. What are they paying Jalen Brunson? 20 million or is it 25 million?
I thought it was 4 year, 100 mil.
I'm pretty. Yeah, it's something around that, 20 to 25.
So do you reckon Jalen Brunson's if you're paying Jalen Brunson, do you reckon you can win a championship if you're paying him 20-25 mil?
No, he's 104 mil over 4 years, so 26 million a year.
Yeah, no.
That's so much.
Which I think is ridiculous. He's a good point guard, but he's not $26 million.
That is 100%. They physically could not get anyone else, so I thought we have to get someone.
But you don't. I would rather save that. That's 4 years. They're locked in.
Yeah.
Why not give the keys to Randall and RJ and said, "Come on, make something of this."
Totally, but that's the Knicks. They just it seems
And
like
they
they
could've got
can't
Donovan
make
Mitchell.
any right decision. No, it seems like they panicked and buckled and thought, oh, they'd rather be, by the looks of it, with the decisions they've made, a mediocre team, and just be kind of relevant. But I don't even see them.
No, they're not going to be
talk
relevant.
about it later, but I don't even think they could. They might not even make the play-in tournament.
Oh,
Big call, but
the East is stacked, and I don't think they make it.
They're not any better than those top 9 teams. Not even close.
No,
He's not going to change the dynamic of your team at all.
he might be a 24-point scorer a game. He might be.
If he's lucky.
He might
with
be.
the amount of shots that Barrett and Randall are going to take. I don't know.
But he's got to play the. If he's probably getting paid the most money, so he's got to be the first option on the team, doesn't he?
He might not be.
He can't be a first option. He's not good enough to be a first option.
He's never scored more than. I know it's behind Luka, but he's got 16 points per game last year.
It was a perfect role behind Luka, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that second option, come on and have the second unit, play with the second unit and everything like that.
He shot 13 shots per game last year. I don't see it going much higher than that.
Oh,
If they want to,
no.
like you said, if they want to give the keys to this, we don't know, do we? But for me, I don't think that he's going to be someone who's taking 20 shots a game. That seems counterproductive.
Yeah, and you've
me.
also got what's his name, Quickly.
Yeah, Emmanuel Quickly. Yeah, you got. They still have Fournier, who's just chilling.
Yeah.
All these guys who just chew up shots. So
And Cash.
yes.
Anyway, RJ Barrett was a correct answer there, so you two got it wrong.
No, I'm just glad. I'm glad we disagreed. It was looking too good to be true. But
There's another duo in the same team, Kawhi Leonard and PG. Who would you, if you had to pick one, who would you want to keep? Because you're a Clippers fan, Riley. But who would you give a max contract to over the other one?
are we saying in terms of the general, like the situation right now, or it's like
No, you can
if
build
they're-
whatever franchise you want around.
as in like they're both fully fit, they're going to play every game, or the actual situation?
Well,
Because if it's right now,
no, you have to take in consideration
Okay.
who they are.
Yep, I'd go because of availability. I'd go Paul George, which is pretty rough. But I think you can't have Kawhi playing, I don't know, 55 games
Yeah.
a year. Like it's just not. You don't get any stability. You're not going to win a championship doing that. You can't rely on him to just pop up in the playoffs and try and run through. We tried to do that a couple of years ago and it just didn't work. So I'd go purely through availability. I'd go PG.
Yeah.
As much as that sucks.
Tommy,
Hard one. Because I personally view Kawhi as more of a one, like more of a number one best player on a team than PG. But availability is so crucial. You can't have your best player playing 50 games, as you said. So it'd be PG, but I think he's the second best player on a team, not the best.
Whack.
Personally.
PG last year played.
he was good last year, I thought.
Yeah, like he had his injury troubles as well, but averaged 24 points a game, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Bloody solid.
Yeah, he's
If you ask
3-and-D
me.
guy, but then
Yeah.
also can finish on the rim and
I feel like
score
this,
anyway.
like, what do they call him? That stupid nickname about the playoffs. Playoff P.
Way
Yeah.
off P.
It was
something.
pretty true at the time.
Yeah, but it's like, gee, since he's come to the Clippers, it's been, like he
In the
carried
bubble,
us
in the bubble, he was shocking.
Yeah, but then there was that.
That was for the Clippers in the bubble.
Yeah. I'm trying to forget about
That
that,
was-
one, but yeah, like I think it was the season after he had an incredible playoffs. When
Yeah,
we almost got there when we lost to the Suns. That playoffs, he was incredible, and we were so close to making it. But yeah, like his last 2 seasons has been elite.
I am the same. I'm going with Paul George. Just can't have your best player set the standard of, I'm going to rest every second day.
Yeah.
So even though he's pretty freakish Kawhi.
Is he, like, I haven't heard anything. I haven't had too much of a look. Is Kawhi, like, ready to go?
I'm
Have you
assuming.
heard?
I'd be shocked if
Surely.
he played any back-to-backs.
Yeah, but surely
Yeah.
he's ready to go
But,
to
like,
play.
as in, like, opening night.
Yeah,
Is he-
Yeah, surely.
I think so.
As a Clippers fan, I just want full roster back. But, yeah.
No, you're not like that.
Yeah, I'm not. We're cursed. It's fine.
A few questions off the bat here. Does Russ Westbrook get his trade out of the Lakers, or the Lakers get rid of him? I don't know which one's which. Who wants who?
I think he gets out. That's just a gut feel, though. I have nothing to back it up. I think
So if someone gave you $50 you had to put it on, you'd put it on him getting out.
maybe not 50, but
No, someone gave it. It's not your money.
Oh, yes. It was not my money. Yes.
Riley?
I'll disagree. I think he's going to stay. I know I think I maybe said last week or the week before that I thought the Pat Bev trade was going to be the first domino. But just seeing some clips of them, not even just because they're like talking to each other, I just think that the Lakers want to... I've changed tune. I think the Lakers want to see how it goes. First up. See if it does work. They can... If it doesn't, that's fine. They can make moves and change it up. But I think they'll keep as is, see how it goes, see if it fits.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. They're already at rock bottom. What does 30 of the shittest games in the world help? Like, they'll just hit more rock bottom, to be honest with you. They can't get much lower than what they are right now.
Yeah. And if it does pay off, it might look pretty damn good.
Yeah, imagine if it turns out to be a good thing.
They change into this underdog mentality, which sounds crazy, but this just grit and grind. Memphis grit.
You
and
wouldn't
grind.
read about it.
Yeah. You never know. Best case scenario. But,
Tommy, you want to talk about the tennis, do you?
Yeah, I thought I'd touch on the Tennis US Open concluded over the weekend. Unfortunately, we're not talking about Nick Kyrgios.
We are. Him slamming his racket into the ground.
Okay, I had a bit of an opinion on that. A lot of people obviously saw it as brat-ish behaviour. And, well, yeah, I can understand that. People have been crying out for Nick Kyrgios to show that he cares for so long. Surely that... He didn't do it during the game. He literally waited the whole game. And as soon as he lost, he did it. Surely that shows that he finally does care. And he has changed. But I understand that's incorrect behaviour.
Does he care enough to train 7 days a week, not go to the nightclub,
to be
eat
fair,
right
he
food?
started to do... I don't know exactly his training standard. I can guarantee it's not better than the eventual winner, Carlos Alcaraz. But I have heard it's definitely gotten a lot better.
So does he really care?
Even he said himself... That he said in an interview that I've changed so much, it's almost sad that I don't feel like me anymore. So that social media pressure has affected him so much that he's changed so he doesn't really feel like himself. But even he's just so, he's always taken that blasé attitude to, when you see him press conferences, I don't care, I've lost. But his press conference after he lost was so sad. He's like, I feel like I've let everyone down. I have to wait till the Australian Open now. I feel like he has changed. But I know people have been on his back a bit, and probably rightly so. I've always been a bit of a Nick Kyrgios fan, but I can understand some of the things he's done has been it's been hard to argue for. But Riley,
where's Djokovic? What's going on there?
not allowed to play the COVID protocol thing, the vaccination.
Mandates. So which
back for the Australian
majors can
Open.
he play?
Well, apparently the Australian Open's going to lift their ban, so I think
Right.
he's back to the Australian Open. I'm pretty sure he couldn't play. Did he play the French Open? Pretty sure he couldn't play the French and
But
US Open.
Even just the fact that he slipped in the rankings,
He
all
did.
of a sudden,
Plummeted. He did plummet.
Is that due to him not? Do you get
Yeah.
lose points for not playing?
Was more other players around him were getting points and he wasn't. I
Right.
would assume.
Okay.
But yeah, he didn't play two majors, so he wasn't allowed to play a lot of tournaments around the world. So it was because he wasn't playing any tournaments. Because obviously, you get your main points in majors. You get a lot of points from playing other tournaments too. He wasn't allowed to play any of those. So
when he's playing, is he still?
Yep.
One of the best in the world.
The best.
The best, right?
The
okay.
best.
Interesting.
He's still elite, and on all surfaces, he's still the best player in the world.
There you go.
It's a hard one because I'm not a big fan of the bloke because obviously he's COVID stance, and I didn't know he polarizes fans even before that COVID stuff, but he does make the game better. I think John McEnroe said the game's just better. Even Kyrgios said it. The game's better when he plays because he's just so good. But it does make it more interesting that we saw Carlos Alcaraz win. I'll get on in a sec, but when Novak goes in, he's going to win. So it makes it more fun. There's other people that different for your first time winners and a little bit different like that. But he makes the sport better because he's just still so good. I'm not sure how old he is, but he's getting on. But he's just so good. But still want to touch on Swiatek won the women's one. She beat Uns Jabeur, hope I said that right, 6-2, 7-5. Notable victories over 6 seed Sabalenka and 8 seed Pegula. And as I just mentioned, Carlos Alcaraz became the youngest world number one ever, I believe I read. Hopefully I read that correctly. with a 4-set win over 5th seed Casper Ruud. Big wins over 22nd seed Tiafo, 15th seed Chilich, and most notably over Yannick Sinner. Marcus and I are watching this. This was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Wow.
This went for over 5 hours. The second longest match in US Open history, and it finished around 3 o'clock in the morning.
One of the best matches you've ever seen.
It was just too physical. It was so physical. It was just two athletic blokes going head to head. It was some. I think I read over 100 shot rally or something stupid. There was some.
Holy crap!
Maybe that was a bit of an exaggeration, I think, but it was ridiculous.
Shots.
Like to give you an idea that a match would usually last a 5-set match wouldn't go past. I'm trying to work out. Each set would usually go for about 40 minutes.
I was going to say 3.5 hours.
Yeah. That they were 3 hours in, halfway through. I think after 2 sets, they were like 3. That was like half the third set. They were 3 hours in. Usually a match goes for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. So that was an absolute war. And it's the second longest match in US Open history. I was insane to watch, but Alcaraz has a very bright future, boys. Like youngest one ever. He's gonna be very good. He's similar model to Novak. He's so athletic. Just some ridiculous balls back that you just wouldn't imagine. But good to have someone else win because Novak, Rafa have been so good for so long. So seeing someone else win's been really cool. But that's it for the tennis. Riley, F1. Do we talk about F1?
Do they call Alcaraz the prison?
Why is that?
Oh,
I saw that.
Tommy.
Alcatraz.
Tommy. Surely you got that a bit earlier.
Dad's been saying at the fucking house all week that Alcatraz.
Yeah. I was stewing on that ever since you said his name.
That's shocking.
The prison.
That's shocking.
It's not been a good night for me. So F1, the Monza Grand Prix. It's always an exciting weekend at Monza just because of... What are you looking at me like that for?
I feel like we've already done F1, haven't we?
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
That's what we already did.
We
F1.
talked for that long.
F1?
Yeah.
No, we haven't done it yet.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
That's why
Go
a
for it.
half-hearted said it. So we actually haven't... Okay, Riley,
we
F1.
No, we haven't. I thought you were
I thought the same thing.
Genuinely, we haven't spoken
We
about
usually
it.
have more cuts. We've just gone off. We've just gone the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Rod?
No. Are you guys forcing me out? Is this what's happening here?
After the shocking jokes.
Right, yeah. As I was... I digress. Always an exciting weekend at Monza. Just because the Ferrari crowd, it's a track that, even though there's like long straights, the DRS is a bit confusing. Anyway, Leclerc got on pole. Bit of a surprise. Red Bull, it seemed like Red Bull were going to be... they were the fastest car in practice. But Charles Leclerc put in a stunning lap. And obviously because of a lot of grid penalties, the grid was jumbled, Fletcher.
Yep, that's right.
It was. So we had McLaren 3 and 4. Love it. Danny Rick did well. Both Williams in the top 10. Sainz 18th, Hamilton 19th. And the race, while there wasn't a lot of major moves or any incidents, it was just good strategy. The top 6 all had like differing strategies. Guys starting on softs, guys starting on mediums, but didn't make a difference. Max was just too quick. His 5th win in a row. But our poor fella, Danny Rick, his car failed on him with 6 laps. I think it was 6 laps to go. He got screwed over by strategy, but as you said before, Fletcher's kind of... They're finished with him, so he's just
guinea pig.
Sacrificial lamb, basically, a guinea pig, yeah. So he was on, I think, mediums to hards, and the hards were just... The McLaren didn't enjoy it, but... Because of that, the race finished under the safety car, which meant that it was a pretty anticlimactic finish. Did you guys have any quick thoughts on that scenario?
Yeah, I was one that put in our... We've got a bit of a run sheet here, and I put in the run sheet... should we prioritise fan entertainment or fair competition? So for the fan, we want to see We want to see a red flag. So we get all cars bunched up, and we get to see a standing start. It'd be really cool to watch. But it'd be pretty stiff on Max dominating the race, and they have to start from the start, basically from the start again for a few laps.
It's funny. It's funny that, isn't it?
That's usually how it works. But I don't know.
Were you going somewhere?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to talk.
We all know where we're going with this.
Yes.
Last year,
obviously, we were all very happy with it as we wanted Max to win.
That was absolute scenes.
Yeah, the O'Donnell household.
rocking.
Me, you, Marcus, Brody, Luke, it was scenes. But I think fan entertainment. Obviously, we want fans watching and sending start would be good to watch. But I think fair competition. I feel pretty stiff if I was Max.
Whatever you do, just the whole year, just choose it at the start and
that's
do it the
exactly
whole
what
year.
it is. If you have rules, stick to them.
Because if you do a red flag restart, it's still fair because you're doing that the whole year. That is your set rules.
Yep.
It is also obviously providing the fan entertainment too, but it's still fair if you, no matter what the situation, that is going to be it. But we've obviously seen last year, just make the rules up on the fly and see how it goes.
Exactly. That's what there's people being like, oh, he did it last year, but last year was such a dumb anomaly that they clearly made an error.
Yeah.
This was the right decision, and yes, it meant that it was a bit of an anticlimax, but it was safe by the book, and it's what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
So you can't get upset about it because that's what they're going to do in every scenario. So from now, hopefully.
They're just got to make sure in the last race that they do that.
Yeah, I think if you're prioritising fan entertainment, you're setting a dangerous precedent. You're just going to be picking and choosing, you're going to be bending rules like they did last year, and that's not going to end well, like we saw. So Max now has 116 points advantage over Leclerc. That is the largest advantage with 6 races to go ever.
Ever?
Shit.
Yeah.
So basically, if he wins this week, he's basically got it anyway. He just has to finish every race, and he's there. But the record of wins in a season is 13, set by Schumacher and Vettel. We spoke about it last week. He had 10. He now has 11 with 6 to go.
Yeah, he's got it.
We were asking, is he going to beat that record? He's going to smash that record.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to pose you boys a bit of a big question here. Now, this is some of the craziest racing I've seen in a while. Could Max Verstappen win 10 Drivers' Championships?
10. How many has he got now?
1.
Yeah, I thought so. 10 Drivers' Championships.
No. Oh, Jesus.
10.
No.
Big ask.
Could he?
10?
How old is he?
He's like 23.
So he's still very... Oh.
He could. Is it really? Oh, fuck.
I think he
Is
beats...
That's the thing. I'm not saying Will. I'm saying, does he have the potential to?
Who's got the most?
Oh, it's so like car
It
based
is
and stuff like that.
currently at the moment, I think if Lewis wins this, if he gets one more, he's outright winner. That's
Potential
Lewis and Schumacher.
potential to, the answer is yes. Will he is the bigger question. But yeah, of course he has potential too.
Like, he's gonna have the right car for the next 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying the Red Bulls will clearly be the best car for the next 9
Do you want me to change the question? So Schumacher and Lewis are tied on 7.
Can he beat them?
Can he beat them? Can he get 8?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
He's got the next 2 years. He's got this year's one, so that's 2. And then he's got the next 2 years after that, because no one's going to catch their car for the next 2 years. So that takes him to 4. And he's got to sneak another 3 in.
I think until Ferrari sort out all of those, I know we talk about culture a lot, but it feels like there's just that something's not right at Ferrari at the moment. You can't back them in. It just feels like he's going to keep winning. This car and it's only going to get better, this car.
Yeah.
Which is the scary thing. So,
Yeah.
tell you what.
He's got next year sewn up in a neat little bow, so that's 3. He could definitely get the year after, so that's 4. And then if Ferrari maybe catch him by then, or Mercedes catch him by then, he could still duel it out and win another couple.
That's the thing. Even if he's not in the best car, even if he's in the second best car or the third best car in, say, 6 or 7 years' time, he's still going to be the best driver on the grid by a fair way.
And he's only 24, as you say.
Yep.
So 28, 30, you're probably at your peak of your powers there, aren't you?
We've seen guys drive until they're 40, which is a bit extreme. He could comfortably drive until he's 36, 37. That gives him 13, 14 years.
At the peak of his powers.
To win 7. 1 every 2 years.
It wouldn't be good for racing, would it?
No, because we complained about Hamilton and Mercedes being so good now because it's
So we can't
someone
be happy
different.
that's not
Yeah,
Hamilton.
it's good for now because it's someone different. Then it's like, oh, good on him. Like he's a young kid. But in 3 years' time, when he's won 4 in a row, it's going to be the same old story. And then
We're going to start hating Verstappen.
going to start hating Verstappen. But there's no reason to hate him at the moment. So that begs the question: why do we hate Hamilton? But anyway, that might be it. That's another can of worms. But that was everything for the F1. Now I got a couple of weeks off. I think 3 weeks off or 2 weeks off. Yeah, 6 races to go. Going to be a bit of an anticlimactic finish to the season, sadly, but hopefully Danny Rick can end on a high, and we'll probably get some more driver news over the next couple of weeks and months as well. So, yeah, the F1's just cruising along nicely, to be honest. So,
Alrighty then. So I think we'll wrap that up now. That's the end of the worldwide podcast for the pub test.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, that's what my brain went to. The Mr. Worldwide.
Pitbull. You made it when you search up your name, and instead of the dog coming up, you come up. You made it then.
Oh my God.
I did not know where you're going.
I was like, hang on, where'd you go with this?
That's a Pitbull quote.
Oh my, wait, what?
That's a Pitbull quote, yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah. He said, you made it when instead of the dog coming up, you come up. When you search up Pitbull.
I thought that was a horrendous joke.
I just wanted to, I got an email.
An email?
From someone emailed the pub test podcast at gmail.com. Subject: Pub test is ranking very well in Australia. I don't know if this is a scam or not, but podstatus.com. Hello, how's it going? Oh, Paul is well. I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, Pub Test, has good performance in Apple Podcast rankings. Position 210 in the category sports.
We're the 210th best sporting podcast.
Has it got a letter header or anything like that?
What's the email address?
Carlos from Podstatus. Happy podcasting.
I thought one of those spam ones that you get.
Yeah, that's pretty cheeky. So there's a couple of links here. You can click some links, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. On behalf of Carlos.
Anyone got a burner phone to test it?
Someone's taking the piss out of us.
Not me. Yeah,
well, let's take it at face value that we are the 210th best sporting podcast.
Of all
in
of
Australia
our
or in the world?
In Australia.
In the world would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sounds a lot better in the world, doesn't it?
Let's say in the world. Mr. Worldwide.
Asian Pacific.
Asia, so we'll include the Asian countries.
Yeah, Australasia.
Australasia, there you go.
Australia.
But thank you everyone for listening. When you become the 210th best podcast, obviously you got a lot of listeners.
Jeez, we're semi-professionals now.
Yeah, we should quit our day jobs, I reckon.
No. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not.
More time to find some funny jokes, Riley. You need to find some new ones.
Bang.
Do you reckon that was sincere, or was that
as sincere as that email?
Right, I'll finish on the worst joke I found.
Oh, we're going again. The bonus joke.
The worst joke I found.
Oh.
Which Spice Girl can carry the most petrol? Jerry can.